welcome to Overdrive AF, the official podcast of Overdrive Fitness. My name is Teddy Gerzon, and I am joined by Gina Marie Gerzon. We are also joined today, as usual, joined by Titan and Brajol, and always produced and delivered to you by Desi the Destroyer.
Yeah.
No cats are here today.
Everybody's in the sun.
Yeah, it's like 60 degrees out, roughly. I could be
upon us.
exaggerating a little bit, but it is warm. NFL Combine took place this past weekend. One of my favorite times of the year. Unfortunately, we don't have cable here at the gym, but we do have plenty of internet, so Twitter kept us updated on everything. And there was a guy who was like 308 pounds, jumped like 36 inches, and ran like, what was it, like a 4.7 40, 4.8? Like, what the fuck?
Keeping up with the quarterbacks and, yeah. What was his name?
Don't remember. Maybe it was Tristan Wirfs. I mean, I know Tristan Wirfs had a ridiculous day, too.
I just don't remember his name.
Yeah. There's a bunch of guys that were jumping off the charts, which is hysterical because NFL Combine is all the runs are digitally timed. So you'll have like one of the fastest receivers in the nation run like a 4.41 or a 4.39 40. And then you hear kids come out of like high school and they're like, oh, this high school combine I ran at said I ran a 4.2 40. It's like fucking hand timed. You're running downhill too. Like, get out of here. So
It just goes to show you the level of talent and how these guys really bring it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes. I mean,
Amazing.
I think the 40-yard dash is pretty overrated, but it is still, I think it's always going to be a staple in the combine.
I mean, but what does that show you, though, when you have guys that are over 300 pounds that can move as fast, produce that much power, as guys that are half their size?
And to be that smooth is what's insane.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That amazes me.
I don't know. I would probably defecate myself 10 times over if someone was 300 pounds running at me that fast. That's scary. So, anyway, I guess we'll talk something that's also not fitness related. We went to see a play this weekend. That was pretty cool.
Yes, we did.
Ain't Too Proud.
Ain't Too Proud.
Yup.
This past Sunday.
I
We
unashamedly.
went to a matinee.
Yes. Not ashamed
We actually,
to say that I enjoyed it
yeah.
and that I do have a secret love for musicals.
How dynamic they were. I was telling Desi, oh my God, they were unbelievable.
And then I stuffed my face at Becco. That was a great restaurant. People should definitely check it out if they're ever in the city. Yeah, so that was a great meal because the food was obviously amazing, but I definitely made you laugh a lot because I have a problem with wanting to eat too fast when the food comes out, especially when the food comes out and it's super hot, because I probably burned every taste bud in my mouth. Like, I went through about 6 pitchers of water by myself because I couldn't stop. But it was still delicious.
It was delicious.
Despite the burning, it was still delicious.
Yeah.
But back to the matters at hand. So, first topic, sports performance related, is stop running with parachutes. All right, so this has been something that I guess if you want to say really grinds my gears. It has been for a long time. And I get it. I love the fact that I'll have athletes that want to do extra work on their own, be like, they want to get faster, but what gets me is like, no one wants to stick to the basics. They always want to do what's flashy, what looks cool, what gets them attention. And one of the dumbest things I can think of, wow, you know what's funny? I was about to say one of the dumbest things that I can think of when it comes to working out or getting faster is using parachutes. I actually thought of something that trumps that. The fucking training mask. But we'll come back to that at another date because we were prepared today for the parachutes. So, in light of the fact that the NFL Combine just took place this past weekend, and specifically 40-yard dash. Let's talk about sprinting for a second. So when it comes to sprinting, your start of the race is your acceleration phase. So sprinting has two phases, acceleration phase and then your top end phase. Some people call it top speed phase. Some people call it max velocity, whatever you want to call it, right? So once you leave the acceleration phase, let's just call it top speed for today. You hit your top speed phase, okay? Now, if you don't get off to a great start, top speed phase doesn't really matter. Some sprinters never leave the acceleration phase because 40 yards isn't really that long for them. Some of them never really leave it because they are more pushers instead of pullers when it comes to sprinting. But regardless, yes, it's going to help to train like a sprinter if you want to become a better athlete. I mean, a lot of us have been saying it for years. That's why it's also kind of driving me crazy that people are like, oh, look what Christian McCaffrey did this past offseason. Had one of the best years of anybody ever in the NFL. It's like, well, yeah, a lot of strength coaches have been preaching sprinting for a long time, but whatever. So the reason why I say stop running with parachutes is because when you're running with a parachute, you're not working on your acceleration phase. That parachute's attached to your waist, and obviously it's flying behind you. It's catching wind behind you. And by doing that, it's keeping you more upright. So you have to fight more against that, against the resistance in that upright posture, turning you more into a puller, which is the top speed phase, right? So you're actually casting your leg out, grabbing the ground in front of you with the ball of your foot, using mainly your hamstrings and glutes to actually pull yourself forward. And that's basic like top speed mechanics. So that's why I say stop running your parachutes. Yeah, you're doing it to try to look cool, but there's so many other things you could do to make you faster, right? So it's just like anything in life. If you don't get off to a great start, it's going to be very hard to overcome that in the end. And when it comes to anything that's considered a sprint, whether it's physical or metaphorical, sprints aren't long. So get off to a great start, and you can pretty much cover up the rest if you don't do great on the very little things at the end. I know you've seen it over the years too. Like parents will come in and be like, oh, I bought my son parachutes. I'm like, okay. Your son plays fucking tennis. Like, how much ground are they covering in their sport? Or like, oh yeah, I saw so-and-so using parachute. I don't even know if this is true. So I think like Adrian Peterson used them one time, and it was thrown online. So people think they should use them too. It's like, all right, number one, Adrian Peterson, when you saw him using parachutes, was already fast. Number two, he's lifting weights. And a lot of these parents want to do what looks flashy, but not actually lift weights, not actually have any muscle in the car of their kid that they're trying to drive. So,
Right, the fancy.
It's fancy, it's attention getting, it's pissing me off, stop doing it, it's grinding my gears, you look stupid, it's not making you any better. Stick to the basics. Get faster from the start. Maybe work on mobility and strength out of those start positions so that you can actually get to a great start. Work on your first step. Improve your cognitive skills so that you're not so slow to react on the field to anything. Yeah, all those things will help you in your acceleration phase, and we can always come back to that. The acceleration phase and how to get better at that at another date, but for the sake of today, stop running with parachutes. Period, stop, end of story.
Time for a snack.
Time for a snack.
Possibly, I think. Carb loading for later.
Titan and Braja's segment this week is brought to you by Blue Buffalo. We are not officially sponsored by them, but they keep our dogs nice and thick with 3 C's. Moving on, what would you like to speak about today?
Well, I think we kind of agreed that we were going to talk about creatine. And do we need creatine?
Yes.
Right?
So
there's different avenues we could kind of go down with creatine and the benefits for this and the benefits for that and all that kind of stuff, right?
So do you need creatine?
Excuse me.
Do you need creatine?
Right. And it's Monday. So, okay, creatine monohydrate, right, is a substance naturally found in your muscle cells in the form of phosphocreatine. It helps your muscles produce energy. We all have it, and it's found mainly in the tissue, the cells, the tissue of the muscle, and a very, very small amount in your brain, your liver, and your kidneys. But do we need creatine? We all need creatine to help us to produce energy. Creatine definitely shows that it helps in bouts of intense exercise or intense movements like sprinting, strength training, resistance training. There is even research showing that it does help and it does improve muscular endurance. We do need it. The research does show that those that are deficient in it are mainly vegetarians and vegans, those that have had some sort of a traumatic brain injury. People with cardiovascular issues could definitely benefit from supplementing creatine monohydrate. Creatine has been constantly researched over and over and over again. It is one of the safest supplements out there. It is one of the cheapest supplements out there. You get more bang for the buck on that. So definitely two things that people want to hear is it's safe and it's cheap. And you can take it every single day. And I'm looking right into the camera on that one. The safety profile is outstanding on creatine monohydrate. There is no loading phase. I know in the beginning they were talking about back in the day you would have to load it for a certain amount of weeks and then take a week off and then load it again. Daily intake of creatine, the research does show too, whether you take it pre, intra, or post, the benefits are there. Benefits are definitely increased strength, increased muscle mass, your exercise performance. You can last longer during your workouts. You can handle more volume and workload, right? So if we're in a hypertrophy phase, or if we know our workout is going to last an hour or more. However, the research does show that the longer your workout does go for, it's not going to be quite as beneficial because we only have so much of that in our tissue. So that's why the supplementation is so important on a daily basis. It definitely does increase your cell hydration. So you will notice that when you start supplementing with creatine, there is a temporary fluid weight gain or water weight gain, and then on the scale you'll see that just because of that volumization. And it could also, because we only carry so much or store so much creatine in the tissue, phosphocreatine, and then the body goes through a process to create this ATP, or adenosine triphosphate, which is basically the what we call the energy currency of the cell, and that's exactly what we use to produce that power and produce that muscular strength and produce that intensity. So it's important for us to eat our protein. We need those amino acids. Okay, so those of you that are vegan or vegetarian, or my older adults, the adults, I'd say 65 and over, who most of the time are not getting their protein in adequate amounts, and that'll be another topic too. Need to start eating more protein to help with that process. So I mean, we can go on and on about it, but
yeah. Basically, creatine monohydrate, it's really all you should be taking. If you're going to take creatine, which we do suggest.
Besides
for
eating
the stuff
well,
that we do.
Besides eating well and getting your sleep in and being consciously getting your training in, if you want more out of your training, and if you want the most out of your training, as long as you're getting all those other factors are put into play, right? Then creatine monohydrate would definitely be a supplement that we would suggest.
And it is a supplement.
It's
not
definitely a supplement.
A wonder drug.
It is definitely a supplement. They do find that the powder form it tends to have much more of a benefit than, say, a liquid form. So the powder form of creatine. And what else did I want to bring up? I'm just trying to think. No, I think that's about it. I mean, we could go on and on about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things I definitely want to cover about it, though. So, like I was saying, creatine monohydrate, if you're going to take anything, that's what, as far as creatine, that's all that's really necessary. Every year, some company comes out with the newest form of creatine that's more readily bioavailable, and it's just, at the end of the day, it's not necessary. It's nonsense. Even if it is better, it might work out to be 1% better.
Well, there's no research that shows that any of the other forms of creatine are more beneficial than creatine monohydrate. So the research is there. The creatine monohydrate is the cheapest form. It's safe. It's healthy. It's found in our bodies. We need amino acids. We need protein. So meat eaters are much higher in creatine than the non-meat eaters or the vegetarians or vegans. But there's also the older, the clientele, the older population that it's finding that they're low in too, and also people who have compromised cardiovascular systems.
Yeah,
because the heart is a muscle. Yeah.
Also, it's not a wonder drug. So remember, it is only like $10 for a month or 2 month supply. If it was a wonder drug, at that rate, I'm sure a lot of people would be smashing professional sports records and going on to do anything extraordinary in a physical sense from this supplement, this wonder drug that so many people are so afraid to take. I shouldn't say everyone, but so many people are so afraid to take. Because how often do we hear people say, like, oh, my friend took creatine and she put on 10 pounds in a week, so, I'm not going to take it because it'll just make you huge. Like, that's a lie. So if people that hear that, that's bullshit. That obviously that person's calorie balance was way the fuck off balance. They were in a huge surplus, right? And it doesn't have that effect. Number two, like Gina said, it is a supplement, right? It's a powder. You're basically putting something into your body that is already there. You're adding just a little bit more. It's not like you're putting in exogenous hormones that, or in a sense of like anabolic steroids or anything like that. So that's it.
And it does help very much so with recovery too.
Yes.
So the research does show that back in the day it would say that you must take creatine prior, 30 to 60 minutes prior to your workout, ingest this much. But the research shows now it really doesn't matter whether you take it pre, intra, during, or post. The benefits will still allow for that to happen. The creatine will still allow for all these benefits to happen, regardless of when you take it.
And another thing I was trying to get to is the fact that we keep saying creatine monohydrate. So one of the more popular forms, of, and I'm going to say in air quotes for those that are watching, super creatine, one of the most popular forms of creatine that's out there right now, super creatine, is found in the energy drink Bang. So that term super creatine is actually extremely misleading. And if all you have to do is just Google it, it's a simple Google search. Bang got sued for it. So the people that love Bang, I understand it may taste great to you, or you just love the energy that you get from it, but you're not getting creatine from it. Super creatine is just a trademark term that they use, right? They were sued for the fact that it's not actually a creatine, but they were able to retain the use of that name because they trademarked it. So in a sense, it's like saying that, I created this formula for an energy drink, and the secret proprietary blend is called Boom Sun, And what is Boom Sun? I don't have to tell you because I just fucking trademarked that shit. And guess what? When you drink Boom Sun, you're going to get all this energy. But at the end of the day, it's just fucking caffeine. But what's terrible, and I'll rant about this on Bang real quick, super creatine is actually the waste product of creatine. It's creatinine. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that, which is like when creatine's digested in your body, some of the molecules that break off are creatinine. That's what super creatine is. But instead, when you're drinking Bang, you're actually putting more of that into your body. So that's why some people actually get sick from it, because it breaks down your immune system.
You're ingesting a waste product.
Yeah, you're literally eating shit.
Basically, what you're doing is ingesting a waste product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're creating a product with a cheaper version of what they're thinking. They're trying to mask as creatine, super creatine, but that you're actually taking in a waste product. It's kind of like if somebody juiced a bunch of vegetables and took all the fiber and ate it instead of drinking the juice or eating the vegetable. Mm-hmm. You're taking all the crap that you actually have to throw out. That's what you're doing.
Fucking sweet, bro. So yeah, do you need creatine?
Everybody can benefit from
yes.
it. And there's actually promising research out there right now too on the benefits of creatine, like I was telling you, with people with cardiovascular issues and traumatic brain injury and the repercussions from that. They do show that vegans and vegetarians have an increased cognition and memory benefit from ingesting more creatine, because their protein intake is normally not as high because of normally the amino acid profile. They're not always getting that in, and if they're not being really smart about how they're pairing their foods, then that could be a possibility as well. So supplementing with a creatine monohydrate would be beneficial. And if they're non-meat eaters and they're looking to increase their muscle mass, possibly compete at a level, just change their physique.
Or just not be a weak fuck.
Then to all of my older clients too, most of the older clients in the population too, just older people in general, 65 and over, are not getting, and even females are not getting enough protein. So up your protein intake, allow for more creatine to enter your system. You know, you'll see more muscle growth. You'll see more fat-free mass develop, and at the end of the day, that's stronger bones, a leaner physique, more contoured body, feminine physique too, and men more masculine physique. So it benefits everybody. And you need amino acids to help to produce creatine. It has a very similar structure. And you need glycine and arginine to help create that creatine. So.
Boom.
Yeah.
So basically drink my Boom Sun because it'll get you more caffeinated. No. Yes, you need creatine. If you sprint, lift, jump, you need creatine. End of story. Mm-hmm. All right. I think that's literally everything we had today on creatine. We could keep going. There's so much to speak about creatine.
Different avenues we could go down, but I think that that covers a decent amount.
Boom. So, speaking of drinks, let's talk about our sponsored segment today. So today's episode is brought to you by Rum and Diet, because at Overdrive, carbs rule everything around me, except when I'm drinking. So if for those of you, like we alluded to last week, that are trying to, let's say, lean out, so cut fat, cut body weight, just get in better shape, you need to be in a caloric deficit. Yes, that's basic knowledge. When you drink, most people drink, they binge drink, and they grossly underestimate how many calories they consume when they drink. So we're not going to sit here and act like we're higher than everybody, like holier than thou, and say like, oh, you shouldn't drink. It's the devil's drink. But if you are going to enjoy yourself once in a while and be responsible, we do suggest that you opt more for like a liquor, like a clear liquor and a diet drink. And why do we say that? Well, there's some misconceptions out there. So one thing was always like back when we were competing, so
More bang for the buck.
people would say like, oh, if you drink a diet soda, like a Diet Coke and Bacardi, then the chemical reaction you get from the alcohol and the artificial sweetener gives you one buzz on top of the alcohol, giving you another buzz. So you get twice this buzz. Like, we all believe that. We all thought that was true. So, like, fuck it. But the fact that you're in a caloric deficit, it's going to take less alcohol to give you that buzz. That's great.
You have less body fat on your body.
Yes. But the truth of the matter is that it's not the artificial sweetener that's causing the buzz, right? You're still getting the same buzz. It's just that it's happening faster. So now you're cutting out the extra carbs that you shouldn't be having by switching from a regular soda to a diet soda. You're getting that effervescence that you alluded to last week from the carbonated drink. And the alcohol is now absorbing faster. So, boom, there you go. You stay on track. You have a drink or two, and that's it. You cut yourself off. You be responsible. You hit your goals a lot faster. We're not saying go out and get plastered and try this experiment, but, just be smart about it and learn how to balance things, And it doesn't mean, like, completely balance across your life, but live your life a little bit, So
it's about balance. It's always about balance. And we're coaches for a reason. When we speak to everybody on the platforms and we're engaging everyone and we educate everybody, we educate because we care. You guys aren't going to like everything that we have to say. And at the end of the day, it's because we're trying to educate you and we're trying to give you good information. So things are going to trigger people all the time. Whatever's going on outside of your training is whatever's going on. Everybody's got stuff going on. At the end of the day, one word, one look, one type of a movement, something might trigger somebody in some way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, we're here to educate you guys, and we care, and it shows in the way people move here, the way people respond to our what?
Nothing. I'm just listening to you.
The way people respond to the training here, the nutritional guidance that we give, the coaching that we give. When I work with our members and our athletes on the turf and on the platform, and then if I have the pleasure of working with them as a nutrition client, as an athlete, or as one of the members here, there's always that ebb and flow. People come in here for a reason. They're looking for help. And when whatever they're doing isn't working, that's why they come in. So we take our job seriously, and we do the best to provide and over-deliver. There's times when we have to get serious, and then there's times when we can joke around. So at the end of the day, we're always being purposeful in our delivery, whether that's serious and concerned or joking and silly. So the delivery is always purposeful. That's all I wanted to say. Is that at the end of the day, we care very much about our members and our athletes here, and all of their progress, it shows. That's what I was trying to say.
So speaking of which, why don't you highlight your member of the week?
So we have Kerri-Ann Southwell, I'm sorry. Kerri-Ann was just featured as a member testimonial a couple of weeks ago, and she did an amazing job. What a heartfelt testimonial. It actually made me cry to see how much she loves Overdrive and how it's benefited her in so many aspects of her life, with prior injuries, just everything, just feeling better in her body. Kerri's been with us now for just before Thanksgiving. I think she started, right? I think was or the beginning of November.
Working out here or starting nutrition with you?
She started working out here in November, I believe.
I think it was like September.
No.
Because Connor her son was still working out.
Okay, and then
here.
I started working. I started coaching her nutritionally in November, just before Thanksgiving. Yes, so she wanted to commit to 16 weeks of the coaching, and she wanted to. Her goal was to get stronger, to recompose her body. She wanted to reduce her body fat and then gain more lean mass, to change her physique. She wanted to feel stronger, look stronger, feel feminine, even more than she did then. And she's not done yet. I think we have another couple of weeks, or this might even be her last week, but she's lost, I'm looking at this now, she's lost 13 pounds in not even 4 months. Her lean mass has gone up several pounds. She's lost just even in the past, the beginning of February. No, I'm sorry, mid-February to now. I mean, she's lost another 1.7% body fat just in the past several weeks. And this woman is eating. And that just goes to show you that the nutritional coaching, when it's customized, it definitely stands ahead than you just, some of these random apps that just give you calories, and maybe you look something up on Google or whatever. She's definitely put in the work. She's gotten stronger. I'm so proud of her. She's very comfortable in her sports bra in here, and I got to give her props for that, because you know what? She's showing the other ladies that she's feeling herself, and she deserves it, because she has worked her ass off, and she's still not even done. I can only ask that all of our females feel this confident. She deserves it. She's put in the work, and again, it shows. She's lost over 13 pounds, and even in the past several weeks, she's lost, or maybe the past month, almost 2% body fat, and she's going, and she feels awesome. That's all I got to say about that.
Why don't you mention how we measure her body fat?
Oh, the InBody machine. So we purchased our InBody machine just prior to our most recent transformation challenge, our partner challenge. And so it's a bioimpedance machine. It measures each quadrant of your body. It takes your body weight first, and then it measures each quadrant. So top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. And it sends that current through your body. It measures your body water, it measures your skeletal muscle mass, your dry mass, and then your fat mass, and it does the calculations. It actually helps me out instead of me having to do the calculations now. And it gives a very specific readout for each member or each athlete, and they can actually follow their progress on the app that InBody provides on their phone. So it's worked out well.
It's consistent, it's accurate.
Mm-hmm.
It's touted as a hospital grade
Mm-hmm.
machine. So
They do use it in hospital settings, yes.
when you're spitting out these statistics on her progress, it's not bullshit. Like, they're legit losses. We're not just doing skinfold calipers and using our discretion on how well or not well we're saying their progress is.
No, they see it. They see it on the monitor, and they see it in their app. And
what I'm saying is, some people, some trainers in the past or whatever, they'll pinch you in 4 different spots, and they'll be like, if you walked in and said you had a great week, then they'll say, oh yeah, that's what your skin folds say, and they'll say you had a great week.
Mm-hmm.
with our machine that we use here, it's no bullshit. The numbers come out and it tells you exactly how you did. We're not lying to you. We're, so when we have people that kill it like Kerri, it's legitimate. It's legitimate as fuck because, the numbers don't lie.
She looks amazing. She looks amazing. And she's in her 50s. She says it on the testimonial. She's very open about it. She's 52. And she's a mother. She's a wife. She's a career woman. She wakes up at 4:30 in the morning to prep everybody in the house so that she can get to work on time, and then to get here for class, and then prep meals for the week. She does what she has to do. She doesn't make excuses. This is a priority for her, and it actually makes her feel better. She leaves feeling better than when she came in, and it's all in testimonial. I hope everybody gets to watch it. How heartfelt the testimonial is, and how she really preaches the benefits of strength training and how it's transformed her life. It's allowed for past injuries to the pain, the discomfort to subside or lessen, and we're still working on those things within our scope. And she's very communicative with us during training, and even when I've been coaching her through her nutrition, with emails through emails or face to face. She's put in the work. At the end of the day, she's put in the work. That's it.
So let's wrap this up, right? So oh wait, no, that's what I wanted to say. In the show notes, we'll link out Kerri-Ann's testimonial on our YouTube channel. If you want to check it out on your own, you can go to our YouTube channel, or it's on Instagram also. So at ODFitnessNY, it was one of our most recent posts in the past week or 2 weeks, if you're listening to this. So we put it up at some point in February. All right. We can't speak for Kerri. We'll let her video testimonial tell her story the only way that she can, right? Because we're touting her right now because she did a great job, but that was a very powerful video testimonial she did. So everybody thought that she was
it was like a script or something.
Yeah.
What I mean,
it just came out.
Everybody will see it for themselves. And that was it. Literally, that was all. The video camera was on, and she just spoke from her heart. And all the members kept telling her how wonderful that testimonial was, and what a great job she did, and how it touched them in some way.
Yeah, she inspired another female member who is actually the same age, and just started here too. So, thank you, Kerri, for that.
Inspiring women of within that age, that 40 to 60 range, I think is really important, because that's where people end up falling off. Hormonal things can happen. People seem to feel like, let's just get a ton of cardio in and it'll help me lose the weight. And unfortunately, it changes your body composition, but for the negative. It doesn't benefit you. She really she preaches the benefits because you can see it in her progress, and in just in her body, how much strength training has benefited her, resistance training.
So yeah, if you're listening to this, let's say Sunday, March 8th, because this podcast will be releasing on Tuesday, March 3rd. Boom, there you go. There's Overdrive's gift to you for International Women's Day, Sunday, March 8th. You get to see and hear us speak about Kerri and how we helped a female. We empowered her physically and mentally, and I guess spiritually. So proud of that. Something else we're proud about, we alluded to earlier, carbs rule everything around me. Our Weekday Warrior Wu-Tang shirt is dropping soon, so if you want one, get on the pre-order. We'll link that out also in the show notes, or you can just go to overdrivefitnessny.com, and that'll be on our homepage. So you can place your orders ASAP. We are only ordering for whoever pays. And that's it. If you miss the boat, you miss the boat. So get on that. It is a Wu-Tang inspired shirt, and on the back, carbs rule everything around me.
Dollar bills, y'all.
TC5's wrapping up this week. It's been a great weight loss challenge and fat loss challenge for everybody. We love that everyone's been holding each other accountable. It's been competitive but friendly, and I just love the fact that everyone is making great progress. So hats off to everyone in that challenge.
Competition within the spousal units.
Yes. Yeah, only 2 husbands got kicked to the garage so far. So, no, I'm just kidding. That hasn't happened yet. It is the final week, so you never know what'll happen.
No sabotaging. There hasn't been any sabotaging.
I'm on #Team Husband, so go Team Husbands. Yeah, so just to recap, stop running with parachutes, right? You look stupid for those of you that actually need to work in acceleration. So don't do it anymore. You look freaking dumb.
You don't need fancy.
Don't need fancy. The basics work. Do you need creatine? Yes, you need creatine. If you lift, jump, sprint, you need creatine. End of story. Period. Stop. Ramen diet. If you are going to partake in some adult beverages, which it seemed like a lot of people had at the play we went to.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah. I've never seen so many women in their 60s with pirate mouths. I'm into it. I hope you're like that when we get to that
There's
age.
A lot of people on the bathroom line during intermission, that's for sure.
Faux show.
At least on the women's side.
Mm-hmm.
It was down the hallway, up the stairs, and around.
Wild.
Yup.
And Weekday Warrior highlight, Kerri-Ann Southwell.
Amazing progress.
Keep it up, Kerri.
Yeah.
So, anything else to add?
No, I don't think so.
So it's become a regular occurrence that the dogs interrupt at least once per episode. I think we're going to start placing prop bets online to see how many interruptions we get per episode. Maybe the winner, a chosen winner from next week's episode, will get a t-shirt, one of the new Wu-Tang t-shirts. So, here's what you're going to do. Email us, info@overdrivefitnessny.com. The line is set at 2.5, the over-under. So, are we going to have more than 2.5 interruptions from Titan and Brajol next week? Or less? Take a guess. You want the over or the under?
I'm going to say the under.
The under? I'll go over. I'll go with the over. I'm going to say...
See?
They're just going to be quiet. Desi Destroyer is going with the under. The hard under. I think he's even going absolute 0. So, until next week, tune in. Send us your answers, especially if you want a shirt. Yes, we are doing men's and women's cuts. Check out the shirt. Check out Kerri's awesome testimonial. And we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.